Trick or treat, trick or treat. Candy is dainty, but murder is sweet.
Okay, Martha, how about this? Spirits in torment. Do they really come back to the scenes of their tragedies, bound there forever, even in death? Martha?
Martha stared out at the deepening twilight, the rolling hillside so unfamiliar, the trees nearly stripped by October winds. In spite of the station wagon's stuffy interior, she shivered.
Martha?
Dad, do we have to talk about that now?
Well, why not? It's a great topic for my new article. Halloween's got me inspired. Come on, Martha. Are you still upset with me?
I just can't believe you've done this.
Look, we already talked about it. You knew Sally and I wanted to get married and have all of us together. I couldn't live in the house where Sally lived with her ex-husband. And Sally and Connor couldn't compete with all your mother's memories at home. We had to get a place of our own.
But Sally got the house.
Hey, you and I agreed a long time ago to get out of the city.
She chose it.
Well, I didn't have time to go house hunting. And when Sally called about this place, it sounded just right. A study where I can write, a studio where Sally can paint, and good big rooms for you and Connor. You really don't like Sally, do you?
No, Dad, it's not that. I like her, honest.
Connor, then.
Connor's weird. Look, Dad...
You always wanted a big brother.
He's only a year older than me.
And think how much harder this will be for him, being a senior and having to transfer in mid-year.
Nothing bothers Connor.
You've only met him a couple of times. He's a philosopher. You just have to scratch below the surface and try to understand him.
I don't want to understand him. He hardly ever talks, and when he does, it's more like he's talking to himself. He's so aloof and casual about everything.
I think he fascinates you, and you won't admit it.
Dad, get serious.
Hey, that's the driveway into the house, I think. See that break in the trees? Sally said the first clearing after the turn back there.
I don't know. It's so dark out there. It's as if they haven't cleared the road for years. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Look, Martha, there it is. Our new home.
Trick or Treat by Richie Tankersley Cusick. The house looked strangely ghost-like, rising up through pale wisps of fog, its dark stone walls and chimneys interwoven with bare, twisted trees. Silhouetted in the twilight, its gables crawled with dead ivy. Its tattered awnings drooped like eyelids. Someone had propped a scarecrow against the porch, and its hideous face flickered in the glow of a jack-o'-lantern. Martha took a deep breath and let her eyes wander over the blur of house and shadows. As she glanced towards the woods, her hands, gripping the dashboard of the car, grew suddenly cold.
What a perfect place for someone to hide. For someone to watch. And we'd never even know.
Well, Martha, isn't it terrific?
Hi!
Hey!
So, what do you think? It's pretty wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you like horror movies.
So, don't you think so, Martha?
Yeah, Sally, it's great.
Martha gazed at the cracked door, its paint peeling off, its panes of stained glass broken. Some of the boards on the porch were rotted away completely.
Well, of course it still needs work. But what potential!
I guess so.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Martha had forgotten all about Connor. As he stepped onto the porch, the light from the hallway caught his face, and she felt herself drawn to him, just as she had been before. There was something about him, something Martha couldn't quite pinpoint. The square jaw and the way his mouth was always set. The corners always lifted slightly in a secret sort of amusement. The deep-set eyes, so cool and steady and blue beneath his low brows. He was wearing jeans and a bulky sweater, But he still looked tall and slender, his broad shoulders hunched against the chilly night air.
My stepbrother. He's my stepbrother now.
You remember Connor, don't you, Martha?
Of course she does.
No, listen to me. Of course you remember him.
My very own little sister. What a lucky guy.
Connor, why don't you show Martha her room?
Oh, did I?
He picked out the one he thought you'd like, but of course, if
I'm
there's
sure
another
it'll
one...
be fine.
Connor led the way up the warped, creaky stairs. Martha followed him, trying to pull away from the deep shadows, the close walls, the musty smells.
Sure, the lights was just along here somewhere. Oh, half these lights don't work. One of the few minor inconveniences we'll have to get used to.
What are the others?
How does one bathroom strike you?
You've got to be kidding.
I wish I were. It's at the end of the servants' hall. You see, there's a back staircase there, too. You can take it all the way to the cellar or up to the attic. Here.
Is this room mine?
Yeah. I thought you'd want privacy. It's away from everyone else's. Mom brought this bed down from the attic. You could use it until... What's wrong?
Martha stood frozen on the threshold of the door, staring into the room. Shadows skittered across the faded flower pattern on the torn wallpaper. A bare window seat stretched beneath a curtainless window, and the closet door stood slightly ajar.
It's so cold.
Oh, once you get your things in here, it won't seem so bad.
No. Can't you feel it? The cold. Something terrible happened in this room.
Connor! Martha! Come on, dinner!
It's just drafts. All old houses have them.
Yes.